All right, guys, I'm Michael Sartain, and we are right here for Sports Talk Sunday with Hooked on Fashion Live, an exciting time. There aren't any sports, but we have some incredible professional athletes joining us here today, and I'm going to let it go around the group here while everybody introduces themselves. Alyssa.
Hi guys, my name is Alyssa Boston. I'm from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. I'm 24 years old, and believe it or not, I actually played hockey for 8 years growing up, and I'm also Canadian, so of course hockey is my favorite sport. And my favorite team would have to be the Toronto Maple Leafs, obviously. Cassie?
Hey guys, I'm Cassie Cameron. I'm 30 years old. I live in Daytona Beach, but I was born in New York, so I am a baseball fan, and my family loves the Yankees.
Go ahead, Lexi.
Hey guys, I'm Lexi Harbin. If you don't know me already, I am 22 years old, and I am from South Carolina, originally from Clemson, South Carolina. So of course, the Clemson Tigers are my home team. And another thing is, there's not a lot going on right now, but we can definitely still, talk about how much we missed it. And, I don't know, who knows?
Excellent. You look a lot like my friend Candace. It's strange.
Such a strange thing. I don't know.
It is strange. Christy.
Hey, I'm Kristen. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. Oddly enough, I'm a huge Boston Celtics fan. So I love basketball and I love the Celtics. And it has nothing to do with Memphis.
Magnificent. So there were a couple of things, guys, we wanted to talk about specifically. First off, there's no sports right now. And so it's been kind of a lull in the sports lifestyle. There's been a debate about whether or not people can go back to playing golf or going back to NASCAR. Those are two places where you have people kind of separated from one another. The two biggest stories right now would be the NFL draft and that MJ documentary. I don't know if you guys have been able to watch that. If you haven't, watch it tonight. The episodes 3 and 4 coming out tonight. It's fantastic. And ESPN is allowing them to say cuss words, which is probably the best part of the whole thing. It's completely unedited. Listening to Michael Jordan cuss at people is magic. It's absolutely phenomenal. I have a question. How many of you guys have any experience maybe watching old clips of Michael Jordan? I know probably most of you didn't watch Michael Jordan play. I got to watch his entire career. And you guys have watched LeBron, obviously, right? You've seen LeBron. I know Lexi has a cat and a dog chasing each other back there behind him.
Sorry, guys.
Behind her. In your opinion, who do you think was probably a better player throughout his career, LeBron or Michael Jordan?
Ooh.
I think that's tough.
I think Michael Jordan all the way.
MJ.
Christy, why do you think Michael Jordan?
I think that with age, like LeBron, he's still great, but he isn't what he used to be, where I feel like Michael Jordan was just Michael Jordan his whole career until he retired. You know what I mean? He was always impressive, etc. And that's like the last couple of times I've been to sporting events, no hate on LeBron, but I feel like he's not there anymore, He's still good, but he's not what he was, if that makes sense.
So
I feel like he's still what he was. I just think maybe there's so many people who are so good. And there's so many younger people like Zion who came out of here. I think Zion came out of South Carolina, and he's already in the NBA league. And what is he, 17, 18 or something?
19.
19. Okay,
yeah.
I know he's
There's
young.
a lot. Yeah. Usually
Very young compared to,
yeah,
and that's why I think, but if you think about it though, LeBron, he played longer than Kobe. He played longer, and a lot of he's old,
Yeah.
to still be in the league and like he is. He's up there. So I think he'll definitely live out. He'll never be Michael Jordan, but he'll definitely live out the legacy enough.
What do you guys think? Alyssa, do you watch basketball?
Yeah, I do. I agree with that. I think there's heroes in every sport, and no matter how long of time, there will always be people of that age group that are the best. I know in hockey, everyone still admires Wayne Gretzky as the greatest of all time, but that was back in the day. And now that people have improved, people are playing younger, like you said, people have more accessibility to be able to play sports at a younger age to become even greater than people used to be. So I think it's really hard to tell because of the different eras that these people play, but obviously LeBron is one of the greats, and so is Michael Jordan.
What do you think, Kathy?
I mean, that was pretty well put. They're both pretty great. I've always been a Michael Jackson fan, but I do feel like LeBron does more for his community. He does more for the communities, you know?
That's fair.
It's interesting. So the debate would basically be like this. Michael Jordan was, he was the best scorer in the league. He won 6 NBA titles. He also won, I believe, 6 MVPs. He's probably one of the few people in NBA history to lead the league in steals and scoring at the same time. So he was probably the best defensive player and offensive player in the league at the same time. The difference is a lot of people would make the argument that there's a lot more talent in the NBA now than there was when Michael Jordan played, and also but in favor of Michael Jordan, the rules were different. Like there were fouls where you could knock the shit out of people back in 1989. And it was just a common foul. You just got 1 out of your 6 fouls. Now you're suspended for 5 games if you go anywhere near somebody's head. Back then, Michael Jordan, they used to be able to hand check him. They used to be able to put one hand on him, and he would still have to drive to the basket. Now you're not allowed to touch ball handlers at all. And so you see guys like Steph Curry. A guy like Steph Curry would have a very difficult time getting to the basket against the bad boy Pistons in 1989. Like Rick Mahorn would have knocked the shit out of him, or it would have been very ugly to watch. So the game is cleaned up. It's a lot more open. So it's very difficult to say. Michael Jordan was 6'6". He probably weighed 215, and he had a 45-inch vertical. LeBron James is 6'8". He weighs maybe 270, and he has like maybe a 42-inch vertical. They're just like different positions. But I agree with what you were saying before, Chrissy. Like throughout his entire career, Michael Jordan never lost in the finals. Every year he played, he wanted to lead the league in scoring. He would lead the league in scoring. One year, he scored 37 points a game playing point guard for the Bulls, like his second or third year. Incredible numbers. And then the thing with LeBron, like you said before, guys, like it's very different. Like he's much more active in his community. Like you said, Michael Jordan really never took a stand on anything until he bought the Charlotte Bobcats and became a billionaire. So that was, it's a very different type of thing. Now, let me ask you guys something. When it comes to watching these guys, you guys have been to sporting events live before, right? What are your favorite sporting events to see live?
Basketball.
Basketball's good live, yeah.
Yeah, basketball's really fun. The crowd atmosphere is so great. And I think the best part about basketball is watching the bench. Each team's bench, when they score, they're so excited and so dramatic.
It's definitely fun to like go to a football game and like tailgate. Don't get me wrong, but you can only get so close to the field. You're only so interactive with the players. You're so far away that there's that, barrier in between the two where you can't, enjoy yourself to the full extent. Like she said in basketball, like you can be down there almost on the floor depending, what kind of seats you get. But, it just, I don't know. It's a whole, especially in even high school, there'd be, like you have your fan section or whatever. And I feel like even now, like seeing high school, I even see clips that go viral on like YouTube of like basketball games where these high school student sections are just like insane,
I love the sideline handshakes and the guys fainting.
Pictures and everything that they hold up
and like, just fall down. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It is.
Chrissy, have you got to watch the Grizzlies play this last year? Did you watch the Grizzlies play at all?
I went to a bunch of Grizzlies games.
Did you get to see John Morant?
Yes, he's amazing. I know John. I know like a couple of the guys, and like he's like the heart and soul. Like he's the future. He's gonna be everything in this sport for like a long time, as long as he can stay healthy. That kid is incredible. Did you see when he dunked on Kevin Love and he crotched him in the face?
We all saw
watched that like 800 times. No, but he's an incredible kid. The love that the Grizzlies have this year, it's a completely different team than they were last year, and it's amazing. It's really fun to go and watch because they're like best friends on the court. They're out there playing their hardest, and he surely shines. So it makes it a huge, huge difference for sure.
Yeah, one of the cool functions about pro sports is that whoever the biggest next superstar is, the first pick in the draft in the NFL, NBA, NHL, or Major League Baseball, he's going to go to the worst team, right? Mm-hmm. So the team with the first pick last year was the New Orleans Pelicans, and they got Zion Williamson. And the second team to pick got John Morant. And John Morant went to like a really small school. None of the big schools recruited him. And then all of a sudden he plays in the tournament, and this kid can like literally jump over human beings. Like it doesn't look real how quick and explosive he is. He gets to the NBA. And he's trying to humiliate people, like just trying to just dunk 17-year veterans. And he's going to win Rookie of the Year, most likely, because Zion Williamson only played like 17 games. So it looks
I was
like
about to say, with Zion, I feel
gonna...
like once he was showing out until he hit the league. And then when he hit the league, he kind of just like, I don't know, he just fell off a little bit. He didn't have that. I don't know if he was maybe intimidated or what, but I did watch early on in the season.
Well, go ahead, Christine.
Watching early on in the season, I just feel like, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, you're fine.
I'm okay.
I was just gonna say, I know like a lot of them when they get up to the league, like it's a whole different ballgame mentally for them, and they're still the player they were before. They just are all up in their head during the game, so it's like a completely different outcome. I'm sure he'll grow out of that as well. You know, once he gets
just imagine being 19, you know, and then having all of a sudden you just made $70 million guaranteed to play basketball, right? You're one of the top 3 picks or whatever, and like. Now you're 19 years old, you live in Memphis. You know, Memphis is now putting all their hope. There's no NFL team there. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of Titans fans there, but the whole city is now kind of looking to you for the future. Same thing in New Orleans. You've sort of put the hopes and dreams of that city on your back, and how much pressure that would be for a 19-year-old kid, and the way we cover it now. So when Michael Jordan got drafted, he was the 3rd pick in the draft, believe it or not, behind Akeem Olajuwon and Sam Bowie in 1984. When he was the 3rd pick in the draft, nobody gave a shit about the Chicago Bulls. They were just a team that nobody even knew. And then the kid comes out and just starts scoring 40 points a game. And now everybody can't wait to go see the Chicago Bulls. The same thing with the New Orleans Pelicans. Now that the Pelicans have Zion Williamson, they're the biggest draw. I am a Dallas Mavericks fan, and I watched every Pelicans game after Zion Williamson got healthy, because the guy was a monster when he came back. He looks a little bit lost on defense. But, I mean, how incredible would that be? You guys think about right now, how much pressure that would be for somebody their age to come in, make all this money guaranteed. You all of a sudden have a shoe contract. I don't know. Did you guys? I don't know if you guys saw the post or whatever. So Trae Young is the point guard for the Atlanta Hawks, and he was the 3rd pick in the draft last year. Trae Young used to date this girl. They were on and off. They were pretty public. The girl's really, really pretty girl. She is now broken up with Trae Young, and she's dating CeeDee Lamb, who was the 17th pick in the NFL draft. And if you guys watch it, if you have your phones out, Google this right now. CeeDee Lamb finds out he got picked by the Dallas Cowboys. He's holding 2 phones. His girl grabs one of the phones. This is all on live television on ESPN.
I've seen this. I know what you're talking about.
His girlfriend grabs the phone away from him, and then he grabs the phone back, and he just looks down and he's like, nah. And there has been millions of memes posted about this. But the part that makes it funny is that Trae Young. Yes, Trae Young, who's the girl's ex-boyfriend, he's the one who was posting the meme. I thought it was just hilarious.
Oh my gosh!
Like that would happen.
Wow.
Yeah, I did see
that was somebody's ex.
It's a professional league. There's a lot of tea, a lot of drama.
Yeah, definitely a lot of drama. Do you guys, any of you guys ever dated a professional athlete?
Almost doesn't count, right?
Yeah, I knew.
That's why we're like almost. I saved myself before I got too deep.
I asked Lexi's sister who her favorite NBA forward was during her cooking show, and she had 2 of them. She had 2 NBA forwards that she was big fans of, but we won't say who. They're both pretty good players. I
kind of dated a basketball coach. He's assistant basketball coach at Auburn, and his dad is the head coach. Pearl.
I know who you're talking about.
Pearl, yeah. You know
what? Wasn't he on The Bachelor?
I hope not. Probably. Everybody's on The Bachelor.
Literally.
But
she's right. Everybody's on The Bachelor.
I thought Pearl's son was on The Bachelor.
They showed his dad. Yeah, they showed the head coach, Bruce Pearl. They showed Bruce.
But Bruce.
It was his son.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. No, I saw there was an episode of The Bachelor where one of the kids from the coaching staff was on there. He's one of the contestants on the show, and he didn't know who Charles Barkley was, which was kind of shocking. And that was pretty shocking if you went to Auburn to not know who Charles Barkley is. I thought that was kind of crazy. Do you guys think that we're going to have sports again before December?
July, supposedly.
Yeah,
NBA.
NBA.
let me rephrase this. Sports with audiences, sports with fans in them. Do you think
Ooh.
we'd have that before December?
Probably not.
No.
Yeah, probably not.
If they play, they're definitely, I don't feel like they'll have fans.
I think it'll be a while for
Oh,
that.
I saw something where they went as far to say that the MLB was going to play, not have fans, and not let the players go home to their families. So, like, they would literally leave
Correct.
and stay gone for the rest of their season and then go home. So I don't think
Yeah.
that fans are even being considered. I think they're just trying to figure out how to play.
There was a consideration of them having actually all the games on an island, like literally an island, like in the
That's
Caribbean or
insane.
something like that. They would sequester all of the teams together once they got tested, and then they'd be able to play each other. The games would be broadcast with no fans. That's a really interesting concept. I don't know how this is going to work. Here's one of the things. Every year when they're doing this, the players have guaranteed contracts, and the contracts are based on a percentage, especially in the NBA. They're based on a percentage of the salary cap. When fans don't go to the games, that number goes down. These players are giving back a lot of money.
Yeah.
So now you have to understand, like, there's going to be this push, like this is safety, and then this is the push to try to get back into playing full-time games. So who knows? I mean, that's going to be a really tough thing. Think about college football. You guys, I know you two are from SEC country. What is it like going to a college football game in the South?
It's intense.
It's all about the fans. That's what it is. You know, the crowds are everything. The tailgating is everything. Like, it is.
I think that's definitely what gives Clemson their their feet to stand on is, I mean, us, our, their hometown.
That's a pretty good quarterback. But yeah.
That Isaiah Simmons, he went number 8 in the draft.
That kid is ridiculous. So
he's also defensive player of the year.
Yes,
but
that's correct.
I just think, like, I definitely know from, like, Clemson, like, their fan base is everything to them. Like, is so strong. And when you go to a game, I mean, we have, it's miles and miles before you even enter actual Clemson, there's tiger paws painted on the pavement, like on the roads. And I know for miles and miles, every gas station, every, like locally owned pizza place, my mom has tiger paws in her driveway, like painted on the concrete. Like she's got the reef, the Clemson mat. She's got a Clemson tag on her car. She's got a Clemson key ring. And it's like everything every time it's a Clemson game, everybody wears Clemson. I bartend at Twin Peaks and waitress there a lot of the time. So when we do have sports and when I was at my work, I was constantly surrounded by that. But, like, I know since we were, Clemson's the closest team to us here in Greenville, that's what every girl wore a Clemson shirt, to work that day. And it's just kind of that's how it is. Like, when you go to academy, you go to something, it's just Clemson, that's it. You might see a little USC, but no. Clemson fans, no, they're die hard.
About professional sports too is that kids work so hard and dream of one day playing for the professional team, no matter what sport it is. And of course, everyone wants to play because you make a living, you make good money when you play professionally. But one thing that you kind of take for granted is the fans. And I know in hockey, there's 3 levels before you can even make it to the NHL. And those levels don't have fans. So in Stockton, California, they actually have an AHL team, and there's probably 100 fans in the audience. And you're playing in front of people, you're playing in front of nobody for that say. And it's kind of hard to even feel the momentum where when you get to the big leagues, you're so excited to play in front of so many people, and it's an experience that people like can always dream of having. So now without that, it kind of takes away from how exciting it is at a live audience.
LeBron said originally that he was not going to, he used way more profanity than I am right now, but he said he was not going to play games without fans in front of him. And then once he understood the severity of the virus, then he kind of brought that back. We've already canceled pretty much or postponed the Olympics, right? Yeah. So that's going to be moved back. My question to you two down there was SEC football. The idea of having SEC football without fans, to me, seems crazier than anything. Having games, if you guys have ever been to a Warriors game or a Lakers game, the crowd doesn't even show up till midway through the first quarter. These people are not rabid. Oklahoma City, yeah, they're rabid. In Dallas, they're rabid. But when you talk about Clemson, or you talk about Vanderbilt, or you talk about Mississippi State, or you talk about Auburn, you talk about Alabama, the idea,
especially Alabama too, yeah.
Yeah, the idea of those schools having football games without crowds, how crazy would that look like?
just unheard of. You're just like, what? No, it's not gonna happen.
Mississippi State without the cowbell would be nothing. I went to state for 2 years, so
Which state?
Mississippi State.
Mississippi State. So are you a Dak Prescott fan?
No, I don't keep up with it anymore. But the cowbell is everything for sure. I know that much.
Excellent. Alyssa, you said you had were there a list of questions? You guys have a list of like trivia questions that you wanted to do?
Yeah, we can play a game. Well, we have a question first. John asks, who's the best golfer ever?
There we go.
Tiger Woods.
Yeah, I think that's the guy.
If you count off the what's it called? Off the green too. Personality as well.
You think Tiger has a better personality?
I was going to say, I don't know about that.
I don't know. I've heard he's a cantankerous son of a bitch, but I mean,
That's what I mean. So like the best golfer, but off TV and off playing.
Oh,
personality as well. Both of them. Does anyone know any other golfers?
Probably Jack Nicklaus. I think would probably be
I know. I was
greatest
thinking
golfer of all time.
Yeah.
Phil Mickelson's great too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Phil Mickelson's probably a little nicer too. Yeah.
So we can
That's
say.
awesome. What do you guys think about the idea of golf coming back as a sport?
It's probably one of the favorite sports to come back because they do social distance during the game.
They don't really need, like, the fans can only get so close. They basically block them off, and people really to like.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have your own little cart, and I mean, you just social distance. That's probably one of the only things that might not miss the fans too much.
Yeah.
Maybe NASCAR too, because I mean, they're in their cars the whole time, but the fans would probably miss out more in NASCAR than.
Well, were y'all talking earlier about they're doing like, it's like a Nintendo NASCAR, but they're
I follow one of the Brad Keselowski, number 2 Miller Lite car, and he just got the whole setup, and he has been driving, and he posted this morning like, oh, long commute all the way to the track, and he went to the other room.
So that is a great segue to what the other thing I was going to ask you guys is, have you watched? So not a lot of people watched it, but a lot of the NBA players played in the tournament with NBA 2K, where they would play against each other. There was 16 players that played in that. And the NASCAR drivers, that actually seems like something pretty exciting. They, the video games that they have now by Electronic Arts and different companies like that, they're able to create simulations that are pretty fantastic. And so a lot of the NASCAR drivers had setups in their house. That would be something I would watch. Have you guys watched any esports at all? Has this been interesting to you? Fortnite. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw Travis Scott just did a concert on Fortnite.
On Fortnite, yeah. I was about to bring that up. I was like, I know this isn't sports related, but Travis Scott is on Fortnite with his live concert.
Today they have the Madden Championship. Right now, it was on TV right before this. I was just watching that. I mean, that's the closest thing to sports right now on TV.
Yeah, the Madden.
It's gaming,
so
for sure.
I used to play Madden as a semi-pro back maybe 15 years ago when I was in the military,
really?
And it's incredibly competitive. The thing about Madden is that the way you win is by breaking the game. You win by exploiting what's wrong with the game. You don't win by playing
I was about to
football.
say, my ex-boyfriend, I'm talking like every day, and if he wasn't playing, he was on YouTube finding out cheats and glitches to beat people. And that's what I was about to say. The whole game's a glitch. And that's the only way you can only be so good is if, like he said, finding out what's wrong with the game.
Yeah,
and then that's why they come out with the new one every year. They fix what's wrong with it, and then people get into it and they get real technical with it.
Well, to be honest with you, they don't fix shit. No, the game's been broken for 15 years, and I play it just because I love football. But it is really hard.
They say they'll be like, oh, well, and then they'll come out with an update, and they'll update it with the new rosters and everything like that. Which I didn't know. I don't know if you guys, I know Michael. Obviously, you just said you know a lot about Madden, but it's really cool because like every time they have these all-star players now on Madden. And it's like as the players are good or as they fall off or like just depending on how good the team's doing, they update the rosters on the game to make it like the real thing. And it's so realistic. It's just out of this world. I couldn't even.
Yeah, every week there's a roster.
It's crazy.
Every week there's a roster update. But you guys remember not a lot of people do this now, but collecting baseball cards. You guys remember, you've heard about this. This was kind of like esports before esports, all the way back to the 1920s. In Madden and in FIFA and in MLB The Show, you actually, and same thing with NBA 2K, you collect cards, you open packs, you literally buy packs from the store. You open packs and the packs will have cards in it. And then 1 out of every 10,000 packs will have like a 2016 LeBron James card in it. It's 99 overall. You get to take those cards and put them into your roster. And then the cards you don't use, you get to sell them. Does that make sense? So like my team, like my last Madden team had Torrey Holt, Randy Moss. My quarterback was Michael Vick and Aaron Rodgers. Like I had all sorts of Hall of Fame. Lawrence Taylor was my outside linebacker, and I had Deion Sanders at corner. Like you can build your team like that. And so esports has come to this thing where like you're taking old players like Willie Lanier and Otto Graham and putting them on your team. Have you guys watched any esports? Now I know you talked about Fortnite. Fortnite is pretty interesting to watch. I didn't think I'd like watching it. I like watching with really, really good esports people play, depending on whatever the game is, boxing, baseball, football, whatever. Have you guys watched any of that?
No, I don't think I can watch that.
Yeah, I actually watch.
I've honestly spent too much time.
I watch them all the time. I watch all people play NHL, 2K, Madden, Fortnite. The new Call of Duty's out. That's a lot of fun. But I think esports are a huge thing right now. Like Rocket League too. Like that's like soccer with the car. But I mean, that's what everybody's doing right now. There's nothing else to do.
There's actually a lot of money in it. Esports, like as if you're really, really good. Like I know this guy that my ex used to subscribe to and watch his YouTube channel, and he would have a YouTube channel, and he was contracted out through esports, and esports paid him like tons of money to play for them.
Ninja.
They sent him to the Super Bowl to go watch and represent them and like all kinds of stuff. It's just insane.
Ninja was making $600,000 a month playing Fortnite, and then he got paid a couple.
Well, that's
million
like YouTube pays people a lot
Apex,
for their subscribers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when
very much
people are subscribing to watch them, they're getting
paid. NBA teams find the best players of 2K for their team, and so like the Dallas Mavericks have a house, and in that house are 5 guys and a coach, and these 5 guys will play 2K against other NBA teams 5-on-5 on NBA 2K. Like that's how serious the NBA 2K league is, and Mark Cuban was very serious about them having a really, really good team. So you're right. Esports is probably something that's going to blow up. It's going to be bigger. I honestly was like some of you, like you, Alyssa, I didn't think I could ever watch something like that. And then I watch and just hear the shit talking, and it's addictive. It's so addictive, like listening to these dudes, especially in 2K, and the way they talk shit. But Warzone, have you played, Kathy, you want to play Warzone after this?
Yes, I'm down.
We'll get on Warzone. The new Call of Duty Warzone came out. It's free to play, and it's Xbox, PS4, and PCs all can play against each other. So
that's awesome. Yeah,
60 million users on there right now. So that is like one of the biggest.
Yeah, that's what all of my friends have been playing. All of them.
Yeah, do you guys want to play a game now?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. So the game I made up, it's called Name That City. So these are teams I will be naming from the NHL, the NBA, the MLB, and the NFL. I'm going to launch the poll so you can see. It's like a multiple choice kind of thing. So I think everybody can see it. Okay, the first one, we can guess it out loud, I guess, and any viewers can kind of click which one they think. Or do I have to click it? I'm not sure. Anyway.
Do we click? No, we just say.
I guess we can click if you want, but say it out loud too. So the first
one.
Okay,
so number 1, the Browns. Where do you guys think the Browns are from?
Cleveland.
Yay, we all got it right.
Any other guess? You got Cleveland. That is correct. They are one of the oldest franchises in the NFL.
I made it
up.
The
next one. This is tricky. This one's tricky.
Yeah, all you Americans, let's see what we got.
Well, actually, that's not why.
You gave it away.
Because they were before they were in Canada. They were in the U.S. No, I know. So the Flames are from where?
Calgary.
But before they were from Calgary, where were they from? Anyone?
Wait, don't tell me.
Flames.
California?
Boston.
They were the Atlanta Flames.
Really?
Atlanta Flames. Wow, that's near me. I should know that.
Yep. Now this is going to get even crazier because what are we doing here with the Clippers? Where are the Clippers from?
LA.
Los
This
LA.
is crazy. Wait, hold on. You guys know where the
Alice.
Clippers are from? They're the best team in the NBA. The
Los
best team in the NBA.
Angeles.
Did I say it?
LA.
Okay, so Chrissy said LA. Who else? Who else? What other
Yeah.
guys?
LA?
LA Clippers.
Yeah,
You know the
they are
song?
the Los Angeles Clippers that used to be the San Diego Clippers, and before that they were called the Buffalo Braves back before 1984. That's where the Clippers are from. Next one, the Bills. Where are the Bills from?
Buffalo.
Any other
Yeah.
guesses?
Well, I'm not going to
Buffalo?
guess wrong, so I'll say Buffalo.
Very good. The Buffalo Bills, the home of O.J. Simpson. That's where he was drafted and ran for 2,000 yards in his second year in only 14 games. And the Buffalo Bills are one of only 2 teams to lose 4 Super Bowls. They lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. The first one against the Giants, second one against the Cowboys. Actually, no, I gotta remember, but they lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. Let's see here.
In a row. Jeez.
4 Super Bowls in a row. Yeah. No, it was
That's
Giants.
hard.
I can't remember. They lost to the Cowboys twice.
Man, that has to hit you hard if you lose 4 in a
That
row.
does. Yeah, the Minnesota Vikings also lost 4, but not 4 in a row. The Devils. Where are the Devils from, guys?
The New Jersey Devils.
Yeah, New Jersey.
I actually don't know.
Correct. They are
NHL.
the New Jersey Devils. They're hockey.
Hockey.
New Jersey Devils. That's correct. The Falcons. Where are the Falcons from, guys?
Atlanta.
ATL.
You guys remember the Falcons? All right, awesome. Yes, they just built the new Mercedes-Benz Superdome where they have the largest LED screen in the world.
Yeah.
It's an Oculus. It's a circle. So when you look up at it, it's a circle, and you're looking the inside of the circle up at the roof. So no matter what position you are looking at it, you can see the scoreboard up in the ceiling through the circle.
Oh, that's
The
pretty
Chiefs.
cool.
Where are the Chiefs from?
Kansas City.
Kansas City Chiefs. Does anybody know where the Kansas City Chiefs used to be from? I think before 1974. Anybody have a guess? They used to be called the Dallas Texans. The
Really?
Dallas Texans. And then Lamar Hunt from Hunt's Ketchup moved the team to Kansas City. And then eventually, when the Houston Oilers moved to Nashville to become the Tennessee Titans,
I still don't agree with them winning the Super Bowl, but you know.
Yeah, the Houston Texans are now the new team that have taken that name of the Texans. There used to be 2 teams in 1960. There used to be 2 teams in Dallas: the Dallas Cowboys and the Dallas Texans. The Grizzlies. Where are the Memphis Grizzlies from?
You just said
There you go, Memphis. I did say Memphis, didn't I? That's terrible.
It's
But
okay.
they used to be
We've
for
talked
somewhere
about it.
before that.
Everybody
Go
already
ahead.
knew, so it's okay.
Okay. But here's the thing, Christy. Before they were the Memphis Grizzlies, what were they called?
Ooh.
Anybody?
Vancouver Grizzlies.
Vancouver.
Anybody?
Grizzlies.
That's correct. They were originally the Vancouver Grizzlies. When the Toronto Raptors came into the league, so did the Vancouver Grizzlies. There were 2 Canadian teams. But the Vancouver Grizzlies eventually folded
Canadian.
and moved to. Yeah, exactly. Here, I'll give you guys a hint because I don't know if this is going to be on there. But what's the name of the team in Salt Lake City, the NBA team? Anybody? The Utah what?
No?
Jazz.
Huh?
Utah
The Jazz.
Jazz.
Now, does it seem normal to you that Utah would call their team the Jazz? Where do you think the Jazz originally were from? Anybody?
Memphis or Tennessee or something.
Wait, no, we never had a team. Let me rethink this.
You guys are just
They
shouting
were
out states.
They were the New Orleans Jazz. They were the New Orleans Jazz and eventually moved to Utah and became the Utah Jazz. And that's where Pistol Pete Maravich used to play. He used to play for the New Orleans Jazz. The Pirates. Where are the Pirates from, guys?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Very good.
Wait, is everyone
Pittsburgh
looking at the
Pirates.
poll when you answer these?
Am I?
I'm looking at the poll.
I'm not gonna lie. I googled one or 2.
Oh, I haven't looked at the poll.
Okay, because all the answers are there. That's why I want. Maybe we should do the next one without the poll, so people
Right.
work harder.
Where do you see answers at?
Well, like somebody clicked them
So
all.
there's 4 answers. Yeah. And then last, the Blue Jays are from where?
Ron? Toronto?
Alyssa?
Yeah.
I wrote them. I know them all. But yes,
They are from Toronto. That's very cool. Now, I want to keep going with this because I actually know the name of every single team.
Okay, wait. There's another one.
Okay.
Wait, I don't know. Actually. That's a lie.
Is there?
There should be another one. I made 2 polls.
Okay, so pull up the second poll.
I don't know if it's there yet. Anyways, okay, you just keep going, and then now I can play since I didn't make them up.
So this is one that's always been shocking to me because I am stunned you guys did not know the Clippers were from Los Angeles. They are my second favorite basketball team. I love the Clippers, and the Clippers are good. If the season had not stopped, I think they would have won the NBA championship. But where are the Mavericks from? Anyone?
Dallas.
Houston.
You guys all knew that.
I said Houston.
They are the Dallas
That's
Mavericks.
enough.
That's correct.
Mark Cuban's team.
Okay. Very good. Awesome. Didn't know you guys knew that. Now this is going to get a little tricky. The team in Oklahoma City. What are they called?
Thunder.
The Thunder. What did they used to be called? Huh?
Oakland A's. What are they? Baseball?
They're baseball. They're correct. The Thunder used to be called what? In fact, Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook were drafted by what team? They were not drafted by the Oklahoma City Thunder. Oklahoma City Thunder used to be another team. And I'll give you a hint. It's one of the teams that Michael Jordan played in the NBA Finals. They were green. I'll give you another hint. Lexi. Everyone look at Lexi.
Marlies?
Sorry.
No.
Mariners?
Seattle.
Okay. Seattle what?
Mariners?
They were the Seattle Supersonics.
Sorry, I'm a
They were
fan.
the Oklahoma City Thunder used to be called the Seattle Supersonics. That was the name of the team. And that was where Sean Kemp and Gary Payton and guys like that played. They won the championship, I think, in 1977. That's where they were from, the Seattle Supersonics. The other team, I was wondering if I was going to say the Commodores, what football team would I be talking about? Christy. What football team would that be? The Commodores.
Ring light's falling apart. Tennessee.
It would be the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Okay, wait, my poll came back.
Oh, Vanderbilt. Yeah.
There we go. Vanderbilt. Very good. The Red Sox are from where, guys?
Yeah, where are the Red Sox from?
Boston.
Cassie, you have an idea where the Red Sox are from?
Boston.
Yeah.
Very good. They are the Boston Red Sox. Here we go. The next one, the Heat. Where are the Heat from?
Dallas.
Miami.
Oh, Miami. Why did I say Dallas? I'm sorry, you guys. I was like, I'm jumping the gun. Let me just get rid of this.
Correct.
I'm going to wait on the question.
The Minnesota Timberwolves, the Miami Heat, the Orlando Magic, and there's one other team I can't remember right now. They all came out, I believe, in 1992. So the Miami Heat, yes, in their first season, they had like Bimbo Coles and Ronnie Cycli. So yes, the Miami Heat would be the next one. The Red Wings, where are they from?
Oh, no, that one.
Detroit?
I'll give you a hint. Yeah. So there you go.
My neighbor cities.
Very good.
Detroit.
They are the Detroit Red Wings. They're one of the original 6 hockey teams. There used to be 6. Can you imagine the NBA right now?
Can we pause and answer that? What are the original 6 teams?
You guys have named the original 6 teams.
I obviously know them, but let's test my Americans. So Detroit is one of them. There's 5 other teams from the original 6 NHL teams.
Hawks, Rangers, Islanders.
No, the girls have to answer.
Yeah, I don't
Any
know.
guesses?
Not hockey.
I know, my Americans.
I'm not.
They're the New York Rangers, Boston Bruins, Toronto Maple Leafs, Chicago Blackhawks, and I'm missing one.
What are you? If I was going to say what country are you from, what would you be called?
Oh, Montreal Canadiens.
Very good. That's the 6th one. The Montreal Canadiens. There used to be. Now, guys, imagine this. In the NBA right now, there are 82 games. You play those 82 games against 29 other teams. So there's some variety. You play some teams twice. You play some teams 4 times. But back when there was the original 6, you would play the same team 14 freaking times a year. These guys started to hate each other. The worst hockey fights you've ever seen in your life, if you go back and look at in like the 50s and 60s of some of the hockey matches, because the leagues were so small back then. They just didn't have enough teams. The next one, here we go. This is, if Lexi doesn't get this one, I'm going to be very unhappy. This is the Seahawks. Where are they from?
Seattle.
Very good. They are the Seattle Seahawks. The Warriors, where are they from?
Golden State.
Okay, now here's the next question. Where is Golden State? What city do the Warriors play in? Here we go. Let's make it Sacramento. No, the Kings play in Sacramento. So the Warriors played in one city last year, and then this year they played in the second city. So what are the cities that they play? Well, the cities are right next to it. Huh?
San Fran.
I was gonna say Cali.
Very good. So they used to be called the Oakland Warriors back in the 1970s. I think they won the 70. I can't remember which championship they won. Some in the 1970s with Rick Barry, and then they changed their name to the Golden State Warriors, and then this year they just moved to San Francisco. So they are playing in San Francisco for the first time. The Rockets are from where?
Houston.
Texas.
Very good. The Houston Rockets. And the Stars are from where?
Dallas.
Where are the Stars from?
Dallas.
They are from Dallas. Does anybody know where they used to be from? Has anybody seen the movie The Mighty Ducks?
Yeah, don't tell me. California?
No, the Mighty Ducks. I'll give you a hint. They used to be called the North Stars.
Yeah. Oh, Minnesota?
They used to be called the Minneapolis North Stars.
Just naming places.
Very good. Yes. The
Oh, was I
Cardinals.
right?
Now this is tough. So I'll give several answers here. The Cardinals are from where?
St. Louis.
They're from Arizona.
Right.
I'm thinking Arizona.
Very good.
That's
That's correct. There is a football team from Arizona called the Arizona Cardinals. It used to be called the Phoenix Cardinals, which used to be called the Chicago Cardinals, way back all the way in the 20s. The St. Louis Cardinals are the baseball team. That's correct. And then there's the Stanford Cardinal, which is in California, but that's not named after a bird. It's named after a member of the Catholic clergy. The Rangers. Okay, this one has two answers also. Yes, where are the Rangers from?
New York.
New York. And what
sport is that? The New York Rangers. What sport is that, Kathy?
Is that
hockey.
football?
It's hockey.
No, it's hockey.
Is it hockey?
Of course, Alyssa made it. We know it's hockey.
New York Rangers.
That's about NHL in there for you guys.
So
Okay?
if you guys haven't put together yet, Alyssa's like a huge hockey fan. Okay.
Okay, if I have to listen to Americans talk about college football, we gotta talk about hockey too.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so where are the other
team.
Rangers from? Where are the other Rangers from?
Texas.
The New York Rangers. There's another Rangers. You wrote the thing, Alyssa. Why are you answering this?
Well, I want to play.
Yes. So George W. Bush used to be the minority owner of the Texas Rangers, which play in Arlington, Texas, which used to be called the Washington Senators before 1974. They are the Texas Rangers. That's correct, and they're named after the state police force in the state of Texas called the Texas Rangers. The Vikings are from where?
Minnesota.
Very good. The Minnesota Vikings. That's right. Just like it says in the song. I have a new man on the Minnesota Vikings. That's correct. Let's look and see here if anybody got these wrong. It looks like none of our viewers got these wrong.
I thought I picked some hard ones.
Those are pretty good ones. Hey, let's make it just a little bit. Let's make it a little bit harder because I know where you guys are from, and let's see if I can name some teams, and then you tell me what city they're from, or we can go the other way around, and you can tell me well, now I got one for Christy. The Titans used to be called what? Do you remember?
Shoot, I don't. It's been a long time.
They used to be called the Houston Oilers.
Oilers, that's what it was.
Tennessee Titans used to be called the Houston Oilers. In fact, the first year they played, and they actually played in Memphis, I think, the first year. They actually still had the Oiler helmets on. That's what Steve McNair played on that team, and Eddie George. They played when they first moved over. Hold on, let me see here. Kathy, where are you from again?
I was born in New York, but I live in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Live in Daytona Beach?
Yeah.
Okay. The name of the baseball team in Tampa Bay is what? Anybody?
I don't even know.
I feel like I know this.
The baseball team.
The Tampa Bay Rays.
That's correct. The Tampa Bay Devil Rays. I think they're just called the Rays now. Yeah, that's correct. The Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Let's see some other ones here that you guys may be able to know. What is the name of the baseball team in Houston? Anybody?
Shoot.
They were recently penalized for cheating.
Yeah.
They were stealing signs.
Verlander, Kate Upton's husband.
Okay.
I know that.
I said I know that part.
Astros.
Astros.
The
Yeah.
Astros. Why are they called the Astros? Anybody have an idea?
The first.
No idea.
I'm gonna say stupid.
Not a clue.
What's unique about the city of Houston? Anybody? NASA is in the city of Houston, and that's where. So
I was gonna say something about
that's what.
astronauts.
That's why they're called the Houston. That's why they're called the Houston Astros. They also have. Before that, the football team was called the Houston Oilers, but it's politically incorrect to call them the Oilers anymore, so they don't. Know any other questions you guys have? So, do we have any questions from the chat? Hold on, there were a few here. Oh, look, one says you see esports going to grow because Sony raised the prices of the PS4 console.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but I haven't looked into buying a PlayStation.
I mean, if you play PlayStation for hours and hours and it costs $50 more for a PS4 console, I think most people would still go and do that. Do you guys? Let me ask you something. Do you guys binge watch TV shows?
Yes.
I do.
Yeah.
Well, Netflix. I binge on Netflix bad.
Right. So this is why I was asking. I binge watch Netflix on my PS4. I actually watch Amazon Video on my PS4, on my gaming console. What do you guys watch Netflix on?
Apple.
Yeah, my smart
Watch
TV.
on Apple TV?
My smart TV.
Watch on Smart TV?
Fire Stick.
What do you have?
Amazon.
You have a Fire Stick. Black Q, what do you watch it on?
My smart TV or my phone. Actually,
You
I
watch
have
it- you watch Netflix
a Google
on your phone?
Hub in my kitchen. So
Okay.
if I am watching a show and I'm like cooking like something that's like very tedious, that takes a long time or something, like if I'm boiling noodles or whatever, then I have my hub in my kitchen. It's like an iPad mini. It works like an Alexa, like you talk to it out loud or whatever.
Oh.
And I have my Netflix and all my accounts hooked up. And so I can stream and just bounce from room to room with it. And then, so if I'm already watching something, I can bounce to my kitchen and then I can tell, hey, Google, pull up what I was watching earlier or whatever, and it'll
pretty
pull it
awesome.
up. And it'll pull
Pretty
up my
awesome.
episode
I
and where
just
I was at and everything. And
I
so I'm
just
just
bootleg
like,
TV shows
great.
off of Chinese websites. That's all I do. Probably,
Well, I mean, I do that with movies because I don't know why. When I moved, something happened to my DVD player. So, and then when the ex left, he took the PS4. So I'm like,
hey, you know what? It's probably better off in both accounts.
right. No, it's for sure. No.
Anytime
have
you get the X to leave. Anytime you get the X to leave, that's awesome. Let's go.
He
let's go
has
have
his
some shit.
PS4 and I have my life. So there we go.
There you go. You got your life back.
I got my life back.
You know what? You
It's a
know why divorce is so expensive? Because it's worth it. Anyway, so
Oh
let's.
my God.
I will never
Sorry.
get married because I will never want to get divorced.
Hey, Michael, did
So-
you see we have a question for you? They want to
Okay.
know, they say you seem to know sports really well. How are you so knowledgeable?
So I used to work at Sports Radio 1310 The Ticket in Dallas, Texas, briefly as an intern, and I kept up with it pretty vociferously after that. They are the 3-time Marconi Award-winning sports radio. They're the best sports radio station in the entire world. And several of my friends still work there, and I do some podcasts off the radio for them sometimes. But I'm a big fan of Pro Football Focus, and I just when I was in the military, I just became obsessed with football and basketball. So that's why I keep up with all that kind of stuff. And then I used to play semi-pro Madden. When I say semi-pro Madden, I didn't play in the big tournaments, but I used to play for money in tournaments around the country. Back in like 02 to like 06, I used to play Madden for money. I can't anymore. These kids just cheat too much. I just can't keep up with them. They're way too good now. I have a question. So I'm sure you guys are all aware that Giselle Munchen's husband went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes, he did.
Anybody
Yeah.
not know it? Not anyone
Yeah.
not know what I'm talking about.
Tom Brady.
The billionaire
Tom Brady.
Giselle Munchin. The billionaire Giselle Munchin. She allowed her husband to switch teams and go to a more warm weather team.
Yeah, she's
Now,
the
Tom
boss.
Brady is 2 months younger than I am, and I know what it's like to wake up every morning and be 42 years old. And I did not play professional football, and it's hard. So I can't imagine how difficult it's going to be for him to be getting hit like he does. What do you guys think is going to happen with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady playing quarterback for them this year?
I think they'll do really well. I think that's a great move. I know a lot of people are saying that they're trying to rebuild the team to win the Super Bowl, and I think you see that a lot in basketball, how they stack teams, let's say, and a lot of the favorites are always in the finals. So I think that's what Tampa Bay is leading for, to attempt to win a Super Bowl, where New England is trying to rebuild from the bottom up now that all the good guys who won all the time are getting older. I think it's a good way to end a career, to have a couple more years to play. And it's amazing that Rob Gronkowski doesn't want to play without Tom, so he got to go there too.
Yep. Anybody else? What do you guys think about Brady going to the Bucs?
He'll have better weather in Florida.
Yeah, he will have better weather. Yeah. And he can't possibly throw as many interceptions as that moron Jameis Winston. Sorry, if you're a Buccaneers fan, that guy sucks. Anybody else? So here's the interesting thing: Tom Brady was not a top 10 quarterback last year. He was good. They made it to the playoffs. They won 12 games, but he was throwing the ball very short. He was not taking a lot of risks. They were building a very Tom Brady friendly offense. One of the things the Tampa Bay or the New England Patriots do is that when a player gets to the end of his contract and he gets more expensive, they just let him go or trade him immediately. They don't keep players for long periods of time. Just countless players like Trey Flowers and Jared Collins Jr. That's just the way they do it. Other teams don't work that way. The Dallas Cowboys would be the opposite, which is why they don't win Super Bowls, is that every time a player is up for renegotiation, they make him the highest paid player at his position, like Zach Martin and Tyron Smith and now Amari Cooper and Zeke Elliott. And when they do that, they don't have any money to pay backups or rookies or anything like that. I think the New England Patriots will be back to the AFC Championship very quickly. I think they're going to find one of these quarterbacks, and they're going to get there very quickly.
But I think that's what made this this season so entertaining, though. It was because you had people like the Falcons beat the 49ers. Like, what? Yep. It was something that was like just not. It was based on their win and losings. It's like it was something that just wasn't supposed to happen. It was like, well, no one ever thought Kansas City Chiefs was going to beat the Raiders or the 49ers. And
I think this year they might have. I mean, they had the league MVP, so I think maybe one of the interesting things about basketball is that you just know whatever team LeBron's on, if he's healthy, they're going to go to the conference finals at least if you win a championship.
And so,
because if you have two really good players, you're just going to win a championship. You can kind of tell within one or two teams who's going to win a championship every year. I'd say maybe a third of the way through last year, I thought Toronto had the best team in the Eastern Conference. I didn't think they could win a championship. I didn't expect two guys to get hurt on the Golden State Warriors, but they ended up winning a championship. It wasn't very shocking. I think this year, it wasn't very surprising to a lot of people that the two best records in the Western Conference were the Clippers and the Lakers, because LeBron James had Anthony Davis. In basketball, it's very predictive. In football, you literally don't know from year to year. A team can be – the San Francisco 49ers were absolutely terrible. Garoppolo had torn his ACL. Then they were in the Super Bowl. The Kansas City Chiefs had a starting quarterback who got them to the playoffs. They got rid of him. Then they bring on this kid from Texas Tech, and he's the league MVP his second year playing, Patrick Mahomes. So football, everything is like this deck of cards, and if one thing goes wrong, the whole thing collapses, and you go from being an awesome team to being terrible, unless you have an awesome quarterback, and then you can stay competitive for a long time, like Ben Roethlisberger or Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady or Drew Brees or Patrick Mahomes every year. So the difference is in basketball, all the players kind of count the same. In football, it basically is you should trade your whole team to get a good quarterback. The quarterback really matters like more. The highest paid quarterbacks make about $44 million a year, somewhere around that. The highest paid player at any other position is about $21 million. They get paid twice what any other player makes. Yeah. And NFL quarterbacks make more than some of the highest paid basketball players. So it's a unique sport where the whole sport kind of anchors around this one player. If you have this one awesome player, he can kind of mask almost all these other deficiencies that you have on your team. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had the quarterback last year who threw the most interceptions, Jameis Winston, and also stole a bunch of crab legs from Publix when he was in college. That's a whole different story. There's a bunch of really funny memes on that. And now he's going to be the backup, and now they've got Tom Brady, and who knows? I mean, they could end up – they've got really, really good talent at wide receiver, so they could turn around and be a really good team. Or Tom Brady could just look like he's 42 years old. Who knows?
I think it's something to admire that either you can quit while you're the best, and he could have quit after he just won that Super Bowl not too long ago and just retired then, and everyone would remember him as one of the greatest. But now he's going to go as long as he can because he just truly loves the sport so much. And even if he isn't as good as he used to be, I think it's still something to like admire that he just wants to play whether he's the best or not.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I like him.
I agree. Did you guys have any other poll questions or any other questions?
I don't think we
Or
have.
were there?
No.
I mean, let's finish the show with, would you guys rather sit close to the game or cheap seats in the back with a bunch of beer?
That's a really
Depends
good
what
question.
sport.
Yeah, it depends on the sport for sure. Baseball, I don't care how far I am. I just want drinks.
Football, I might not even make it into the game. I might get so hammered out tailgating that I won't even go inside.
That sounds like an
So,
SEC
like, it just
fan to me.
depends.
Yeah, I'm all about courtside at basketball games. I like being right there. So I would.
Yeah,
I will
give
say
it
that
a-
basketball as close as possible. Unless,
Hockey
you know,
too,
I
I
don't
think
get
it's-
someone doesn't following me
Yeah, that's true.
That's interesting. Yeah.
or I don't get hit with the basketball.
I'm such a nerd. I like being around a bunch of other nerds and watching football, either by myself or basketball, or I can't stand commercials. I cannot stand commercials. So when I watch it, I watch the compressed replay off YouTube. When I watch highlights of every team, and that's the only way I can consume it. Because I like the experience too, but like, because I'm a Mavericks fan, and you know we have the most wonderful franchise in the NBA. But yeah, you're right. It's getting harder and harder, especially with Oculus Rift, to want to go through all that nonsense to go to the game. Although if you're a Lakers fan and you get courtside tickets for $35,000 a game, you're famous because they just take a bunch of pictures of you and you're on TV all the time. So,
like Kendall Jenner, always.
Isn't it funny to you that all the Kardashians date power forwards?
I
No
know.
other position. They don't date small forwards. They don't date centers. They don't date shooting guards. Everyone they date, Chris Humphries, you know, they date Lamar Odom,
Simmons,
Tristan Thompson. They all played the same position in the same. Isn't that weird? I always thought that was kind of strange that they do that.
I thought it was weird that they were all basketball players. I didn't even know if they played.
Yeah, same.
Hey, Lexi, why are you laughing? Do you know somebody who's dating two players who also who play the same position?
My sister.
The same position. The same
That's
position.
great.
Actually, no, your sister is dating a center for the Heat, so that he's kind of a center. He would be a center.
Who knows what she has going?
Miles Leonard 75.
I don't
yeah.
kiss and tell. I keep my business to myself, so people can't make fun of me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So people, when I go on live and I do stuff like this, people can't give me shit.
No, exactly. No one's gonna give you shit. We're fixing the world, one sports opinion at a time. Can I give you guys a homework assignment? This is a fun homework assignment. Watch the Michael Jordan documentary. Watch the Michael Jordan documentary. It's on ESPN.
Yeah, tonight.
You know, and ABC. Just go back and watch episodes 1 and 2. It's incredible. It's like, trust me, you don't have to care about basketball at all. Just to watch Dennis Rodman dressing in a bridal gown with his pink hair, it's worth watching. I promise you. You don't have to care about sports in the slightest. You will love this documentary. So the first 4 episodes 3 and 4 are coming out tonight. And I'm going to watch it with some friends, and then we're going to, probably have some opinions on it because there's not a whole lot. And then next Sunday, if you guys did watch it, we can talk about it, and
Sounds good.
we can figure out where the Calgary Flames are from. We can go through the nearest college team to whatever city that you're living in.
Me, I know them. U of M and Michigan State.
Michigan State. What are the Michigan State? What is the name of the team?
Michigan State Warriors. Do I want to say Warriors? No.
No. Michigan Wolverines.
Spartans. The weird little hat guy.
There you go. Michigan Spartans. That's correct. And the team from Tennessee. What are they called? Christy.
Tigers?
No, the Tennessee, the football team.
Volunteers.
Oh, Titans. Oh, Volunteers.
Nope. Tennessee Volunteers.
Hey,
that is correct.
You're skipping our lovely Memphis Tigers, though. We have a football team. We're just really bad, so nobody knows who we are.
No, I know you do. Yeah, they're absolutely terrible. The head coach of the Memphis Tigers basketball team was Penny Hardaway.
Yes.
That's correct. And then Cassie, you are in Tampa Bay, and the nearest team to that. What would Florida State? What would the name of their football team be? Do you know? The Florida State what? Guy comes out on a horse. He throws a spear into the ground. He's got a headdress.
The Seminoles.
The Seminoles. That's correct. The Florida State Seminoles. That's awesome.
You didn't even ask me about U of M. Wolverines.
Yes, the Michigan Wolverines. That's correct. So what, you're in Windsor?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're right by Detroit. I've never been to Detroit, so that's awesome.
Detroit's awesome
Yeah.
now. It's not as bad
Okay.
anymore.
Not as bad. Okay, and then Lexi, what college football team do you live next to?
Oh, Clemson.
Oh, that's right. And
Yeah.
you're aware that they're called the Clemson Bobcats?
Huh?
You're
They
aware
used to be
they're
called the
called
Bobcats?
No, they're the Clemson Tigers.
That's what I was
correct.
about to say. They've always been the Tigers. What are you talking about?
That was funny. She's like,
But
huh?
But I have USC too, University of South Carolina.
What are
which
they called?
Gamecocks.
The Gamecocks. That is correct.
Gamecocks. Yes.
Not to be mistaken with the University of Southern California Trojans or
No.
the UC Santa Cruz Sea Slugs.
What name?
The Sea Slugs.
The Sea Slugs. Yeah.
Oh, I said
Slugs.
slut. Either way.
Yeah, Sea Slugs would be a very, very different team. Maybe in the lingerie football league, which is a different thing.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah, we have a team here, and I don't know if you've been out in Las Vegas, but some of the women here are 6'3" and they weigh 220, and they can squat 450 pounds, and they all work at Well Republic. I'm kidding.
Hey, I'm 5'10". Don't.
I work at Well Republic, so I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. But they're
I have
really,
large
really
arms,
strong,
too. It's
and
okay.
they play lingerie football, so that's a big thing here.
Crazy.
And there was one other. Hold on. Oh yeah, Michael Jordan owns a basketball team. What's the name of the basketball team that Michael Jordan owns? Anybody?
That he owns?
Michael Jordan owns. Michael Jordan.
Said it, and I
There are
don't
two.
remember.
There are two former billionaires, one from the NFL and one from the NBA. The former billionaire player from each league. The former billionaire, or the former player from the NFL is Roger Staubach. He bought a real estate company. He is the first billionaire NFL player, and the first billionaire NBA player is Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan became a billionaire because he owns an NBA team that was appraised at like $2 billion, something like that.
Yeah, you
What
just
is the
said it,
name
but
of
I
the
don't
NBA
remember.
team? Anybody?
You said it earlier, but I don't remember what you said.
I'm asking Miss South Carolina over here because it's near her. There's an NBA team near you. If you had to go to an NBA team and drive there from South Carolina, what would be the closest NBA team you'd have to go to? Anybody?
Wait, the Falcons? I mean, not the Falcons.
Jaguars, Jacksonville, or is that way
Jaguars
far
are a football team, but South
maybe.
Carolina.
Oh no,
It would
well,
be
I'm
a
sorry.
team-
NBA basketball.
It would be a team in North Carolina.
Charlotte.
The Hornets.
Charlotte.
The Hornets. Yes.
Right. So now the Hornets became the New Orleans Pelicans, and the current team there that Michael Jordan owns is the Charlotte Bobcats.
Oh, okay.
They are the youngest team in the NBA. Michael Jordan owns the Charlotte Bobcats.
Oh, I didn't know.
And
that.
while he was a magnificent player, he is an absolutely terrible general manager, and that team sucks. And you will see.
I
soon.
should know that because I got the 11s when they came out, and since I had season things, I was the first ones to be able to get the 11s because they matched the blue and white.
I imagine you're talking about the Jordan 11.
The Jordan.
That's what I said.
11,
Yeah, I should have known that. I don't because I love Jordans. I have like 1,000 pairs. I should have known that. Wow, I feel dumb.
Awesome. All right, guys, that's it for me. I'm done being a nerd.
Well, before we leave, I want to show you guys real quick. If you forgot, if you like any of us or you want to help out with the page, like I said, 70% of all of our stuff goes to our proceeds to our charity. Let me pull up. Sorry, one sec. Give me 1 second. So here's our page. I'm sharing with you guys if you can look. All you do is click on whoever you want to donate to. 70% of it goes to us and 10% goes to charity. And we are, I'm sorry, somehow help me.
Who's that on the right? That girl on the right looks so much like you. That's fucking crazy. Sorry. That's crazy. Who's that girl on the right?
I don't know who
Candace
she
Harden.
is. We don't know her.
Never seen
Orlando,
her
Florida.
before in my life. I've never seen her before in my life.
That's good. I know Brittany Hawks is a really good host and has a dog because she showed it to us on the show on Friday.
Oh, Prince.
Yeah, and Amber Fields was going to move to Las Vegas.
Yes, actually, Las Vegas, I heard, has really cheap rent. So
It is fantastically cheap. And Delaney Jean Neal and I make fun of each other because she's a Sooners fan, an Oklahoma Sooners fan, and I'm a Texas Longhorn fan.
there's good
And
thing.
she got second place at the Dre's at the bikini competition I hosted last year. And there's Demi Brady, who's not a college football fan because she is from the United Kingdom.
Who else? Yeah. So this is these are our girls, you guys. I'm sure you
Yeah.
know by now, but there we go. I'm gonna stop sharing so you can have us back. But if you guys want to, I'm sorry, can someone help me refresh my memory on the charity?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
the
well,
charity-
they
The C?
could donate in any model's name. And then, yeah, that's it. If they want to just donate and not subscribe, they could do that as well. If you want to put it in the model's name that you hate, you could do that too.
And we are live every night at 7 p.m. doing something different all week long.
Hey guys, let me go over the charity. The charity is called Provision Packs.
There we go.
It's called
I was
Provision
grasping
Packs
for it and I
Pantry.
couldn't.
Oh, is that what you needed help with? Sorry.
Provision pack.
Provision Pack. So we're going to go to
Yeah,
Provision
local
Packs real quick,
charity.
and I am going to give me 1 second. I'm going to screen share this. Let's see if it'll pop up for you guys. So this is Provision Packs. If you guys want to check it out, there on Instagram, they're just Provision Packs, and they are providing backpacks and meals to children. They're helping people specifically who are suffering from the COVID-19 virus. So this is the charity that a portion of the subscriptions that you guys are going to do and the tips that you provide are going to go to this charity right here. So if you guys want to get involved and be with something like that, this nonprofit, this would be a definitely a great way to get involved. And you can go to their website that's right here also, and you can find out more about Provision Packs Pantry.
Awesome.
I'm gonna follow them now. Got it.
All right. Well,
All right, guys.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for everyone